21. Which of the following is the correct HTML tag to create a hyperlink to an external web page? So to create an hyperlink, we need the anchor tag. Anchor tag starts with a simple A. Just a simple A was there to indicate the anchor tag. So this is wrong. This is starting with the link. Link is a different kind of a tag that we are using in the HTML. So because of that, first answer is disqualified. And second one, third and fourth one, all things are having the simple A. So they have started and they have finished the tags properly. And with anchor tag A, it is must to have the attribute href with some value. So here they are using the src, because of that the second one is wrong. And third and fourth, they have href in both the places, which is seems to be correct, but if you look closely, can you see the difference? In the third one, href attribute is at the outside of the anchor tag. Because of that, this is wrong as well. So the correct answer is going to be the fourth one. And here there is something called target as well. So target indicates in which place, what is the place that the particular hyperreference or the link is going to open. Like, is it on the same window or in a new window? So like if you want to start it in a new window, then you can use the target tab, the target attribute, and say underscore blank. So underscore blank will help the anchor tag to start the hyperreference in different tab or a window. That is something additional for your examination in case if it is there. So 22nd is about the output, HTML output. So this is the HTML output, and they are asking what should be the correct statement. So out of 4 answers, I have taken 2 answers, by 2 answers, because the screen is enough for that particular room. So seminar series, so it is happen in big fonts as well as it is underlined. So to indicate in big fonts, header tags should be used. To underline, U tags should be used. So here in the second one, only the H tags are there. So U tag is missing. Right, like this. They should have the U tag after the H1. So because of that, this is disqualified. First one is a qualified one. So if you think about the third and the fourth, they have H1 and U, and as well as the fourth one, it does not have the underline, so it is disqualified as well. So either the second or the third is going to be the answer. So then they have start the table, and border equals 3px it says. So anyway, the borders are there, so this line is correct. This should be as well. Like how many rows are there in the table? There are 1, 2 and 3 rows. That means 3 TR couples should be there. So like this is a 1 TR couple, this is a second TR couple, and this is a third TR couple. And in the first TR couple, to have this kind of a structure, you have to use the call span attribute to span the structure together. So here they have used call span equals 3, and they have taken center tag as well. So generally the TD, when it comes to the table data, the content will be left aligned, so they have used the center tag over here, so to make the content in the middle. So it seems to be the first one is the answer. Let's see what's the problem with the third one. Yes, the clear problem is there. They don't have the call span part is missing. They just have the TD and center tags, and TD and center tags. So TD and center tag will create a row with just one cell, right? So then the content is going to be at the middle, not that they are going to be merged. So since it is not been merged, third one is also disqualified, because this first week this cell is merged. So to merge, we can use the call span. So the correct answer is going to be the first one, right? So this can be taken as the correct answer, the very first one. Okay, 23rd. Which graphic type is often used for animated image and short video clips in video content? So animated image, animated images, and short video clips. So JPG is a kind of a format which is used for pictures only, so not the JPG. And GIF, that should be the answer. This is good for small animations and short videos. PNG, again, an image extension. TIFF is also goes with the images. So neither the PNG nor the TIFF, the correct answer is going to be the GIF. So second one is going to be the correct answer. 24th, which audio editing software is known for its user-friendly interface and open source nature? And it's talking about audio editing software. So it's a user-friendly one, and they are talking about open source. So we are learning about this particular audio editing tool in your syllabus, which we are talking as Audacity. So Cubase is a audio editing tool which we have to pay and take, right? So the free and open source one is going to be the third one, Audacity. 25th, what function of presentation software enables user to control the visual effects that occur when moving from one slide to the next during the presentation? So when you are moving from one slide to another, if any particular visual effects are going to happen, that is the slide transition animations. So definitely the answer is going to be slide transition option, which will allow you to have different kind of transitions if you want, or you can have the same transition for all the sessions that they need, right? So however, if you are going to show any animations during the transition of the slide, it is called the slide transition, right? And animation effects can be used on the objects on the slide, and master slide is they have to like manage the content of a one particular slide, as well as to manage a layout as well. Slide layout is one the layout that helps you to design the presentation, right? So slide transition is the answer for this question. 26th, what does the CC field in an email stand for, and what is its purpose? So CC means carbon copy. We use the CC is just to indicate that the main recipient has received a particular letter, and to clarify that particular letter to the some particular people. So they are not the specific main users, they are specified at the to position of the email. Then for the people who need to inform that we have sent the email for the peoples in the to position, those are the people who indicate in the CC. So they will get the idea, okay, this particular one has sent to these people, which is indicated in to, so they get informed. And blind carbon copy is a secret way of communicating. So when you are sending an email into the BCC, when you put an email to the BCC, that particular person will be able to see all the people who have sent this in mainly, and who have the people who got it as a carbon copy. BCC is used to hide the other particular senders and just indicate that this email is sent to the people on these places, right? But those peoples will not see who are the person who have done the BCC. So the first one says to send a copy of the email to the additional recipient for their information. Not really. To send a confidential copy of the email to designated recipients. So it seems to be the correct one. Let's see the third one. To send a copy of the email to additional recipients without disclosing their email addresses to other recipients. Yeah, be very careful when you are reading the third one. To send a copy of the email to additional recipient without disclosing their email addresses to other recipients. So it is also kind of a need when it comes to the BCC. So they are sending a copy of the email to additional recipients without disclosing their email addresses to other recipients. Yes, so yeah, let's think about the fourth one. To send a copy of the email as a courtesy to the primary recipient. No, this is not the one, not the need of the CC. Okay, they are talking about the CC, not the BCC. Yeah, 26th. What does the CC field in an email stands for, and what is its purpose? So the answers are there. To send a copy of the email to additional recipients for their information. Yeah, so CC, the reason of the CC is that because we need to send the people who are going to put in the CC place, the carbon copy recipients, they are just informing that a particular email has sent to the main recipients, so you just get to know, and that this is just for information. So like in a particular organization, if a manager is sending an email to one particular employee, he will put the employee's name on the to section, which is the main recipient, and on the CC section he will put some other responsible guys who get to know, who should know that this particular email has sent to this main recipient. So those people will be indicated over here. So these people who are placed in the CC position are not the main recipient. They are just informing that there is a particular email which I have sent. Twenty-sixth, what does the CC field in an email stands for and what is its purpose? And when it comes to the email, there are three places where we are putting the email address to, which is for the main recipients. Right, and CC, that is for the carbon copy, that is the recipients which needs to inform about the main recipients. Question number 26, what does the CC field in an email stands for and what is its purpose? So CC is generally stands or like the CC position is generally used to inform a particular person that the main recipient has received this kind of an email, right? So when someone is sending an email to some particular person, that particular person is going to be there on the to position of the email, and if that need to be informed to separate people, then those people's email address will be on the CC position, right? So that is why the CC field is there. So as an example, if A needs to send an email to the B, he is the main recipient, and needs to inform that the B has going to get some kind of an email, and that needs to be informed for the C and D, right? So in the to position, we are going to have B's email, who is the main recipient, and on the CC position, we are going to have C's email and D's email, right? So CC peoples are getting informed that the email has sent to the B, right? So the first one says to send a copy of the email to additional recipient for their information. Yes, so that's going to be the answer, not the second. The second says to send a confidential copy of the email to designated recipients. So if you need to do that, you have to use the facility called BCC, or the place called BCC. So people who are indicating on the BCC will not be informed to the to position emails or the CC position emails, and not the third one as well. It says to send a copy of the email to additional recipients without disclosing their email addresses to the other recipient. So if you put it on the CC, the other recipients emails will be disclosed, right? They can see, the person C will be able to recognize that the email has sent to the B as well as carbon copy to the D. as well as the person D will be able to recognize this email is sent to the C in CC position, as well as the main recipient is B. So emails are disclosing, right? So it's not the answer. And the last one says to send a copy of the email as a courtesy to the primary recipient. Not that sending the email as a courtesy. They are just copying the email to the additional recipients for their information, right? So the correct answer is going to be the first one. 27. How resolution is typically expressed in digital image. There are two ways that the resolution is being expressed in digital images. First one is, one way is pixels per inch, PPI, which is the first one, which is the correct answer. Bits per pixel. Bits per pixel is not used to indicate the resolution. Bits per pixel will help you to recognize how many colors can be represented by a particular pixel. So like when you take 2 to the power BPP, this recognize the number of colors in a pixel. And the other unit is dots per inch, DPI. Now here in the third one it says dots per unit. There is no image like that. Megapixels are not going to be the expression how the resolution is going to be. So the correct answer is going to be the pixels per inch on this particular question. So the first one is going to be the answer. 28th, it is describing about the flow chart. So there is some particular portion of the flow chart which says the value of the count is 1 and st underscore count is 0, and then they are asking the question whether the count is less than or equals 10. Then they are going to have the marks. Then the marks are being tested, checked whether they are like larger than 65. If so, they are going to increase the value of the st count variable by 1. This is what it means. If the marks is not greater than 65, they are just going to skip the increment of the st underscore count, and they are just come in and increase the value of the count by 1. So increasing the value of the count by 1 will happen whether this condition is true or false, right? So if it is true, the additional thing that is going to happen is the value of the st count will be increased. So in the 28th question, they are not asking about the algorithm, they are just asking about what are the control structures used in this flowchart. So this has the sequence, the things that is happens one after the other. So like after the condition this happens, after this process this condition happens, likewise. So those things are happening one after the other, so the sequence is there. And the selection, now if you think about this particular condition, it deviates its paths to 2 directions, and those deviation meets at this point. So if you got that nature, that will indicate a selection. And if you look closely, the flow is having an iteration anyway. So iteration happens like this. Under this flow, it goes like this and flows to here and will form the iteration. And the condition which help you to exit the iteration can be considered as the iteration condition. So this flow chart therefore contains all 3 concepts, which is sequence, selections and iteration, or in other words repetition. So fourth one is going to be the answer. Twenty-ninth is talking about if entered marks are 50, 35, 65, they have given some particular list, what will be the displayed value at the end of the process. So let's hand trace it and see how it's going to happen. So at the beginning of the flow chart, it says count equals 1 and st underscore count equals 0. So let's take 2 columns for that. Count, that gives you a 1, and st underscore count, which gives you a 0. Then comes this condition. It checks whether count is less than or equals 10. So count is 1 for the moment, which is less than 10. So it is yes, it happens on this path. They are asked you to enter a mark. So mark is going to be 50. So here you are getting another variable called mark, which gives you 50. And then that mark will be checked whether it is larger than 55. So mark is 50, it is not larger than 65. So it goes on the no path and then increase the value of count by 1. So count will become 2. And goes up and check whether the count is less than or equals 10. Count is less than 10 because it is 2. And so it happens on the years path again. Mark will be entered. So in that case, the next mark, that means 50 is done. So the 35 is going to be for the mark variable now. It is checked again, mark is larger than 65, which is not. Again goes in the no path, and it will come over here and increase the count by 1. So that means count will become 3. Goes up and check the count again. Count is less than 10 still, and 35 has inserted. Then they are going to have the 65. So mark says 65 now. Then enter mark has happened as the 65. Then it checks whether 65 is larger than 65, which is no still, right? Then goes down and increase the count by 1. So this is going to become 4. And goes up and check the count is less than 10. Yes, still it is less than 10. 4 is less than 10. And asks for a mark again. So now they are going to insert 64. So mark is going to be 64. And that mark will be checked over here. It is not larger than 65 still. And goes down and increase the count by 1. That means count is going to become 5. And goes up and check the count again, which is still less than 10 because it is 5. So comes on the years path, asks for a mark. So now the 70 is given instead of 64. Now the marks is going to have 70, and 70 will be checked over here. Marks larger than 65. Of course, this time mark is larger than 65 because mark is 70 this time. So it is larger than 65. That means it's come on the years path, on this path, and increase the ST count by 1. So ST count now become 1 from the 0. Then comes and increase the count value by 1. So it will become 6. So then it goes up and check the condition count less than 10. Yes, 6 is less than 10. So it is true, and comes and asks for the mark again. So now the mark is given as 49. So mark will be 49. And mark will be checked whether the mark is larger than 65. It is not larger than 65. Goes on no path. Then count will be increased by 1. So 6 will become 7. And goes up and check. The count is less than 10. Still it is less than 10. So goes on the years path again and asks for a mark. So now 89 will be insert. So instead of 49, 89 is going to be there. And that mark will be checked whether it is larger than 65. It is larger than 65. Again goes on the years path and increase the ST count by 1. So this one will become 2. Then increase the value of count by 1. So 7 is going to become 8. Goes up and check again. Count is less than 10. Still, yes, it is less than 10. Goes on the years path again. Asks for a mark. Now this is time it's going to insert 70. So mark is going to be 70. Check whether it is larger than 65. Years again. ST count increased by 1. So 2 increased by 3. And count increased by 1. So 8 will become 9. Goes up and check the condition. It is less than 10. So it is yes. Goes up and asks for another mark. So it provides 67. So 70 is replaced by 67. And it is checked. 67 is larger than 65. So goes in the years path. And again, the value of the ST count increased by 1. So 3 will become 4. And count is increased by 1 again. So 9 will become 10. Goes up and checks the condition. Is count less than or equals 10? It is not less than, but still it is equals. So goes on the years path again. Asks for a mark. So it will receive 65. So instead of 67, now it is 65. Then it checks the mark is larger than 65. This time it's no. 65 is not larger than 65. So goes on the no path and increase the count by 1. So 10 will become 11. So now once it is going up and check the condition, count is not less than 10 or not equals to 10. So it goes on the no path, comes to the display ST count place. So ST count for the moment is 4. So your answer is going to become the first one. 30th question, how the statement should be changed to get the number of students who have scored 70 or more than 70. So in the earlier question, you saw that if the marks by this condition, this was the condition which filters the mark, which checks the mark which is larger than 65. So if you need to get the student count who got the score more than 70 or equals to 70, this is the condition that you are going to change. So change is mark larger than 65 into what? They are talking about who have the score 70 or more than 70. So is mark larger than or equal 70 should be there. So third one is going to be the answer. So larger than 65 now need to change larger than or equals 70. So it will filter the marks which is larger than or equal 70 into the ST count. Then it can be displayed after the enter of all the marks, which is 10 in number. So the answer is going to be the third one.